Good morning. So I'm still working on the track area. I just put down a base layer of paint. This is all going to get covered up, obviously. I've continued with ballasting and weathering the track, and I am starting to put some greenery around. I've been laying out the roads here. So I have, what I've been doing is I've been laying the buildings out and making sure they fit, and then moving them off, and then coming back and drawing the lines and stuff. So I do have the street that goes up here and this entire industrial corridor section all set to go here. So I know where that's going to be. I put some other buildings I already had over here just to kind of see, you know, the space that I had for that Pacific area is more room for on-street parking. So I'm planning to do on-street parking on both sides of this main block that's going to be here. Obviously there's going to be this building here and our building there, and then probably 3 more buildings on this side. I do have some pencil markings of the roads, and I've done the road all the way down here, and then I have the road back there. And for this road here, I've actually designed, let me close my pencil here, parking spaces. So there will be 3 parking spaces here, and there will be some, I'm going to have a sidewalk that kind of comes out. So there will be parking here, here, and here. Then another sidewalk bump out here with 3 more parkings and a sidewalk bump out there. And the main reason I'm doing this is I have this Walters cornerstone kit here that has a sidewalk built into the model. Instead of cutting that off, I'm just going to keep that there. I'll make it look like it's the sidewalk's just a little higher in that area. And if you look at real towns, there are areas where the sidewalks are not perfectly level. There's areas where it does bump up. So that's just really what's going to happen there. So by putting these parking spaces here and then having sort of the bump out areas of sidewalk areas, which you do see in a number of areas in real towns and cities, I can then put the street lights out on these bump out areas. So I can actually put 2 street lights in front of this Walters kit that has this plastic sidewalk on it. But I have continued to lay more ballast. As you can see, I do have greenery. I'm not sure if you can see too good, but this greenery stuff here has dried, and I've continued ballasting through the center area. But I have now continued to add more scenery. So up in this area, kind of like right in here, but I also had to come in blend. I added more ground foam, and I'm trying to blend it to this, but I've added a little bit darker of a green in here. But you see how the track is higher here and it does sink in. What's happening is when I ballast or do any of the landscaping, I'm getting fall off. So all this stuff is just falling down here. So anything that didn't glue down, there's a lot of ballast that gets down in there. And then over here with this ground foam, because there's this incline here, obviously a little 2% incline, it's very slight. If I put a little too much glue in here with my eyedropper, I notice the glue starts falling down here and it starts getting down in here and down over here. So I've decided probably the best thing for me to do is to finish off basically from this area all the way over to the tunnel over there. Just finish off all the landscaping and ballasting in this area. There is going to be a little road over here, so I have to determine that. So I'm going to stop here, but I'm going to pick it back up over here. I still have to weather some of the track in the layout. So I'm not going to do anything down here right now because it's just making a mess with all this stuff falling down there. So once I have it all in, it's all glued in, all the glue's dry, just in this little section, then I'll work down there, because it doesn't make any sense to constantly keep vacuuming that up until I've just got all this done. And I like to tell you that I weathered all the track. It took about a week to do all the track all the way around the layout. I had to move stuff off my table here that I've been working on. I had a lot of stuff over on this side so I could focus on weathering this side of the track and whatnot. But I got it all done finally. So basically testing out this track area, I'm just been running this little Santa Fe freight train. Everything seems to be working good in all the track areas now that everything's weathered and stuff. And I haven't had really any problems. Some of the track has been pretty dirty. I've been going over it with my Bright Boy, making sure everything's clean, but as you can see, it's working really good. Not a lot of problems with the track. And the train's operating pretty well. Let's try out this turnout here. So, let's see, this is the first turnout. And as you can see, it works without a problem. So yeah, turnouts are working fine. And it goes up the incline no problem. I have it actually pretty high right there. I kind of roll it around maybe 40 on my controller. And it goes pretty good. I've been using this newer controller. It's not really new, it's an older controller. I had got this a long time ago for another layout, and it was in storage. And I came across it and said, hey, I'm going to put that on here, and it's working pretty well. It's actually working a lot better than the other controller I had. So, it's big. But, I mean, this is pretty old. I think I got that during the 1990s, so it's an older controller. This is a model that I've been wanting to get for about the last decade. It's called the Parkway Diner, and it's by Miller Enterprises and their Micro Structure line. And what's interesting about it, which I didn't really know, it's made out of stainless steel. It is steel. They do make this model in several different scales, including Z scale, which is awesome, because I used to do Z scale, and not too many people support Z scale in structures. Okay, and I'm going to flip it over. This is our parts, it looks like right here, and it's pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. On steel. Not sure if you can actually see that. I can't really tell you which each piece is yet. I can tell you that these two things here are the diner signs. But yeah, it's got some weight to it. Kind of impressive. Acetate windows, very flimsy. But you know, it works. I've used the acetate windows on several of the different structures, and it works actually pretty good. And we have instructions. And this is probably the most interesting instruction thing I've ever seen. Okay, so we have text on the back. And then on this side, we have this gigantic diagram. Yeah. Looks kind of confusing. It certainly does. Because it's metal, you basically bend. All this stuff is being bent together. This is sort of what it looks like. I'm not sure if you've seen these. This used to be on the Walters catalog, a bunch of different places. I actually picked this up at MB Klein's modeltrainstuff.com. I seen they got some in stock, and I was like, awesome! I've been waiting for this model, looking for it for such a long time. That was so cool to come across it and to get it on sale, $10 off. Like I said, this material is really heavy duty. I can tell you right off the bat, and it feels like there's little areas here. Let's see, like getting that diner sign. See where that little point is? I just stuck myself with that. It's kind of sharp, so definitely be a little careful doing these. And I certainly will show another video what it looks like when it's finished.